She was already in the coop when I spotted her crouched low like she belonged there, gently lifting an egg and whispering sweet nonsense to the hens as if they were her own. My jaw tightened. I stood completely still behind the barn wall, invisible and furious, watching my neighbor, Denise Caldwell. Yes, that Denise. The one who once tried to get my wind chimes banned because the sound triggered her dog's anxiety. She had a yoga mat under one arm, a canvas tote slung over her shoulder that read, "Local is love," and the same self-satisfied smirk on her face as she plucked the last egg from the nesting box. What made it worse? This wasn't the first time. I was sure of it now. She'd been sneaking in for weeks. And she had no clue I was onto here that I was done playing the polite neighbor. Every morning on my farm followed the same rhythm. Start with coffee, always, then stroll to the chicken coop and greet Jasper, my overzealous rooster. He strutted around like he owned the whole property, puffing out his chest with feathers that gleamed in the sunlight. He wasn't just loud, he was majestic. My dozen hens clucked around him, scratching the dirt, reliable and content. So, when I began finding only 10 or 11 eggs instead of the usual 12, I didn't panic. Hens could be temperamental. Maybe 1 or 2 were taking a break. But then I started pulling just 9, then 8. I reviewed their diet, added more calcium, refreshed the nesting straw. Nothing changed. I kept a closer eye on them, wondering if a snake had been creeping in or if Jasper was acting strangely. But no, Jasper was his usual proud, territorial self puffing up and side-eyeing anyone who got too close, except me. I reinforced the fencing, cleaned out the coop thoroughly, and still, the numbers didn't add up. Then one morning, right before sunrise, I spotted it, a single footprint in the dew. Not an animal print. A small tread. Running shoe. It stopped right near the coop's side door. I knelt to follow the faint track until it faded into the gravel. Near a fence post, I found a crumpled wrap organic almond vanilla protein bar. Not mine. Certainly not my hens. That morning, I said nothing. But I made 2 purchases. A heavy-duty padlock for the coop gate and a trail camera night vision, motion-sensitive, solar-charged. I mounted it low and angled just right, hidden from casual view but pointed squarely at the path and nesting box. I waited. 1 day. 2. 3. Nothing. Then, on the 4th morning, the camera pinged. I opened the live feed and my heart skipped. There she was, Denise Caldwell. Blonde hair tied into a tight bun, matching tracksuit, yoga mat tucked under one arm. She strolled casually through the side gate I'd intentionally left unlocked. She walked past my tomato plants, stepping lightly over the gravel, past Jasper who was locked away for his own protection and ducked into the coop like she was checking her own mailbox. She bent, opened the nest box, grinned, and plucked out 4 fresh eggs. I watched her brush feathers away gently, then whisper, "Thanks, girls," sliding the eggs into a reusable carton. She waved at the hens like she was doing them a favor and strolled out, head high. She even glanced toward the camera though she had no idea it was there and waved. A mocking wave. My blood boiled. It wasn't just the theft. It was the audacity. Denise had always been the HOA's darling. Organized block parties, curated the neighborhood Facebook page, once held a vote to ban inflatable lawn ornaments because they cheapened the neighborhood aesthetic. She lectured me once because my cousin had fallen asleep on a lawn chair, and she mistook him for a menacing scarecrow. I still chuckled at that one. But I let most of it slide. I kept to my land, tolerated her drama, and lived quietly. Until now. This was theft. Entitlement. And I had proof. That afternoon, I marched over to her house with a printed screen's heart just won her inside my coop, egg in hand. She answered the door holding a smoothie, feigning surprise. I said nothing. Just handed her the photo. She blinked, then smiled like we were in on a joke. "Oh, come on, Marcus. You've got so many. What's a few eggs between neighbors?" I asked her if she thought trespassing was neighborly. She laughed. "It's all community property, isn't it? I thought you were being generous." I walked away. But inside, I was already sketching out the next step. No yelling. No police. No threats. Just a rooster, a plan, and a will to follow through. The next HOA meeting was at the community center. Burnt coffee in the air, laminate floors underfoot. I sat in the back, arms crossed. Denise waltzed in like a parade float, sipping from a massive cup labeled "Good Vibes Only," beaming at the board members as if she owned the HOA along with her overpriced sandals. I didn't plan on a scene. But I also wasn't letting her think she'd gotten away with it. When the board opened the floor to community concerns, I stood and calmly announced I had something to report. Denise barely flinched, but her jaw tightened. I explained that someone had been trespassing on my land and stealing eggs from my coop. I said I had photographic evidence. I didn't name names, just handed the board the clearest image. There she was. No mistaking it. Silence. Then a board member named Tasha asked, "Do you know who it is?" I turned toward Denise and said, "Yes. I do." I presented a printed map showing the coop was well within my property, 10 feet past the HOA boundary. She tried to deny it. Claimed she thought the chickens were on communal land, that she only took eggs a couple of times, that she heard me say I had too many. Lies. All of it. Then, suddenly, she flipped the script. Claimed my rooster had attacked her. That Jasper had pecked her ankles. That he was a menace. She started fake crying with a napkin pulled from her smoothie sleeve, saying I was trying to humiliate her. The board decided to table the matter pending investigation. But not before Denise filed a formal complaint against me. Noise violations. Unsafe fencing. Aggressive livestock. I left the meeting with a migraine and her ridiculous complaint in my hand. But I wasn't backing down. I installed more cameras. Replaced the gravel near the coop so I could spot new footprints. Bought a decibel meter and recorded Jasper's crowing always below the legal limit. I built my case. Sure enough, 2 mornings later, she struck again. This time she brought her little white dog, pretending to walk it past the fence before slipping through the side gate, unlocking the coop, and helping herself. But I caught it all on video. That afternoon, I met privately with Walter, the HOA board president. I showed him everything: maps, video, sound logs. He sighed, shaking his head. "She's out of control," he said. "This isn't the first time she's made waves." I said I didn't want revenge, just peace. He nodded. "Leave it with me." But I wasn't done. Not yet. That evening, I trained Jasper. With treats. I built a hidden compartment behind the nesting box. Every time Jasper entered on command, I gave him corn or apple slivers. He learned fast. I added a flap door, controlled by a hidden latch. Jasper became my secret weapon. Me welcome committee. The trap was ready by Saturday. I left the gate slightly open, baited the nesting box with a few eggs, and sat on the porch with coffee in hand, pretending to read. Jasper waited in position. The camera pinged. She came toad in hand, smug as ever. She opened the nest box. I pulled the latch. Jasper launched like a feathered torpedo, shrieking. Denise screamed, stumbled, dropped the eggs, and ran face first into the dirt. Feathers in her hair. Yolk on her hoodie. I raised my coffee in a slow toast as she scrambled away, shouting about lawsuits and animal control. Jasper strutted behind her like a tiny victorious general. Later that week, the community Facebook group exploded. Someone posted a meme of her with an egg, captioned, "The Yolk Bandit returns." Another showed Jasper mid-flight. Caption, "Guard chicken activated." She tried to defend herself. But every comment she posted got buried under laughing emojis and GIFs. Denise deleted her profile within a day. She wasn't done, though. She filed another HOA complaint, claiming harassment and unsafe animals. I responded with more video, more data, and a quiet confidence. Walter backed me. Then came a civil lawsuit. She claimed psychological trauma from Jasper. Wore a neck brace in court. My lawyer, Dana, was surgical. Laid out maps, footage, the sheriff's report, HOA records. The judge took one look and said, "Case dismissed." Denise gasped. The courtroom echoed with the sound of her defeat. She left in silence. A week later, her HOA privileges were revoked. Then came the for sale sign. No goodbye. Just a moving truck at dawn. The lawn went wild. Flyers collected on her porch. And peace returned. Kids visited the Meet the Flock bench I'd built by the fence. Jasper became a celebrity. People brought drawings. One kid drew him wearing a cape. Another brought him a tiny straw hat. A local paper ran a story, "Rooster defends coop, defends community." I hosted a small open house, lemonade and eggs. 50 people showed up. The HOA sent me a thank you letter. Even offered me a board seat. I declined. Jasper was enough politics for me. Walter dropped off a handmade sign, "Honorary HOA Security Rooster." I nailed it above the coop door. Then came a note left quietly beneath an egg carton. I know I was wrong. I lost more than I meant to. Take care of your birds. They were never mine to take. No name. But I knew. I folded the note and placed it next to the others. Not out of forgiveness, but closure. One full morning, a new family moved into Denise's house. Kyle, Emily, and their little girl, June. Kyle brought lemonade. Emily waved from the porch. June danced barefoot across the lawn. When they asked if the rooster story was true, Jasper crowed once in response. They earned his trust slowly with snacks and drawings. June brought him a carrot one morning. He accepted it. She beamed. The coop thrived. The hens laid. Jasper kept watch. And the peace stayed rooted like fence posts in solid earth. I watched it all from my porch, morning after morning, knowing that no matter what came next, Jasper would be ready. And so would I.